Hello again, YouTubers. Awww SpongeBob 101 back here again on the SpongeBob channel with another episode review video for SpongeBob episode 276, Say Aww and Patrick the Mailman. The synopsis states, frustrated that he's seen as cute instead of evil, Plankton builds a robot to punish anyone who says aww. Also, Patrick crushes the mailman, so he and SpongeBob deliver the mail around Bikini Bottom. Let's get started. Say Aww is a Plankton attempting to steal the formula plot that goes wrong initially, but honestly, I do not have any substantial criticism to offer against it. It's just that great. The episode begins with Plankton smashing right into the Krusty Krab in a rather epic fashion, but instead of cowering in fear, the customers think that Plankton is a relatively cute and tiny creature. Plankton runs back to the chum bucket, horrified by his encounter, and then develops a cute robot that transforms into a horrifying flying creature which eats anyone when triggered. The magic words being "aw," of course. At this stage, the plan is pretty impressive. Plankton's robot even eats Plankton when he accidentally utters the trigger words. Kind of reminds me of Battle for Bikini Bottom. I mean, you know, the similarities there, right? Robots, Plankton makes the robot and kind of backfires. SpongeBob then encounters the robot named Cutie Pie. And because, you know, cutie and symbol pie, seeing that its owner is missing, SpongeBob takes it into the Krusty Krab and hands it off to Squidward for a while he washes his hands. And obviously the customers fall for the trap after being deceived by Cutie Pie's appearance, and all of them, even Mr. Krabs, are sucked into it. Since the only exit is through the emergency uvula, they try to pile on each other and reach the uvula, but to no avail. Meanwhile, SpongeBob sees that the Krusty Krab has been destroyed and is deserted, so he thinks he can just leave. He brings Cutie Pie to the vet, and things go really poorly, right? So Cutie Pie changes into its horror form and starts rampaging, chasing SpongeBob all the way to Glove World. Yeah, I mean, I really like how they injected this relatively uncommon location into the plot, which is kind of random, but it's a great way to bring back a location that we haven't seen that much. SpongeBob is eventually cornered thanks to Dead End, the ride, and is quote-unquote eaten as well. The bright side is that they now have enough characters to pile on each other to reach the emergency uvula and pull it. And there's a really amazing scene where after SpongeBob manages to climb to the peak, they need a little more height, and it is Plankton who literally lifts the whole pile up a notch. Pretty impressive if I have to say so myself. Everyone is blasted out, and Plankton actually says that at least they were blasted out in Glove World, free entry, right? To which everyone seems pretty happy about. So for once, Plankton is spared accountability for his actions. SpongeBob sees that Cutie Pie is disappointed and proposes a solution to allow it to use its abilities for good. And it turns into a Glove World ride called Glove Launch. This is a really impressive thing plot-wise and a really fun one as well. At the end of the episode, Plankton is refused entry into Glove Launch, even though he was the one who invented Cutie Pie, for the simple reason that, again, he's a cute, tiny, and short creature. Poor Plankton. The plot gets a 8 out of 10. It is a fairly straightforward episode, but nonetheless packed with plenty of both adorableness, I'm not sure if that's a word, and horror. I didn't expect the episode to turn out the way it did, judging by the initial promo that Nickelodeon put out. But I have to say, my expectations were indeed exceeded. I cannot think of any other plotline I would have preferred, so yeah. Animation-wise, it gets 9 out of 10. Not only do we once again get so many cameos of past minor and major characters like Sandy, there were a whole ton of scenes that I felt very, very impressed by. First of all, we have the dramatic scene where Plankton is confronted by horror mode Cutie Pie, of course Squidward falling for the trick, and the Krusty Krab, the vet, being frozen by horror as the camera pans backwards, and the animation scenes for the Glove Launch ride. Well, I mean, not only is that an animation thing, the design of the ride is pretty cool as well. I had to give it that, but I'll pack it under animation as well. So, Unique Characteristics gets a 9 out of 10 as well. I enjoyed seeing all the Bikini Bottomites being put into a situation where they had to work together to overcome a major obstacle to their existence and succeeding in their mission at the end of the day, all while being positive. In a way, the fact that all of them landed in a glove world is a reward for their work. Also, as I said earlier, Glove World in a plot that doesn't put Glove World at the forefront is another bonus. Finally, this is a rare occasion where Plankton's inventions don't technically fail and are instead repurposed at the end for good, thanks to SpongeBob's care and concern for Cutie Pie, who is a robot, even though it caused the city so much harm. All in all, the ending is a feel-good one, and Say Aww gets a 26 out of 30. You know what's even cuter than Plankton himself? His glove hat, of course. That thing is adorable. Anyways, let's move on to Patrick the Mailman. This episode is shaping up to be one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes of all time. I'm a big fan of mail. We even have a whole video series on the channel for mail days. It's a very subjective thing, but let's take a look at the plot. The episode begins with the mailman delivering a new rock to Patrick, but he is eventually crushed under the sheer weight of the rock. Of course, Patrick ordered a plate rock, not a polka dot rock, so that's a different issue. Seeing that the mailman is injured, he thrusts the mailman into Patrick's own rock, telling him to rest while Patrick takes on the role of mailman. This scene is really funny when Patrick keeps forgetting to take the mail cap and then the mail bag, all while constantly flattening the mailman under the rock. I think there's a little bit of an animation error because the hole actually looks like it has some depth. But, apparently Patrick was sitting on the floor even though it looked like you could go in. But anyways, I digress. One consistent thing in this episode is that Patrick is actually more self-aware about what he is doing rather than just acting completely dumb for the whole duration of the episode. Patrick can't read SpongeBob's name on the letter, but it doesn't matter because he offers to make SpongeBob his postal pal. The two of them then go around delivering the mail. First stop is Squidward's home, where Squidward receives his turbo clarinet, powerful enough to blast SpongeBob and Patrick far, far away. Then we see a brand new locale, Kevin C. Cucumber's home. Kevin refuses to receive the mail that Patrick is attempting to deliver, but Patrick ain't taking no for an answer. They try going down the chimney like Santa, and this makes for an insanely hilarious set of events, including lines like, "Hey, we're Beard Bros," and "Harry Fishmas" in July. And then Patrick chases Kevin all around the house with a pit stop in the kitchen for some pie. Kevin's house is amazing, by the way. They should absolutely put it into a SpongeBob video game sometime. The Cosmic Shake. Anyway, the lengths to which Patrick tried to get Kevin to take his meal is unbelievable, and that kept me laughing non-stop. They eventually had a jellyfish net duel, and Patrick managed to capture Kevin and stuff the letter into his face with no takey backsies. So apparently the reason why Kevin doesn't want any mail of that nature is because it always belongs to Bubble Bass and contains fines or summons, etc. So now we know that Bubble Bass has been dumping his negative mail onto Kevin. The third stop is Old Man Walker's house, but Patrick realizes that there isn't any mail for him and decides to give him some of the other mail. How does that work? I mean, it's funny considering he opened a foreclosure notice, but that doesn't make any sense. So when they do run out of mail eventually, they spot a mail truck, not a girl truck if you get the joke, and quite literally hijack it. So Postman, Patrick, and Postal pal SpongeBob are soon chased by postal workers in trucks and even a chopper. There's also a situation with Fred, which you probably should watch the episode to see what that's about. A kid named Penny gets a raft, which comes in handy since she is literally thrust off a bridge into a ravine. Hope she's okay. SpongeBob and Patrick put up a valiant fight against the perceived postal pirates and managed to end up in a post office. Unfortunately, the episode ends with the original mailman having some mail for the warden of the Bikini Bottom jail. SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah, they actually go to jail. I really love the plot of this episode. It's undoubtedly my favorite from season 13 up till this point, at least. And it gets a 9 out of 10 only because SpongeBob and Patrick should not be going to jail after all that fun. Perhaps they could have been given community service summons. Wouldn't it be likewise hilarious if the community service involved delivering mail? Man, that would be absolutely epic. Animation gets a 9 out of 10. The expressions on both SpongeBob and Patrick, and even Kevin, were priceless, and once again we see the return of a classic characters, a whole bunch of them. Plus, we got to go around Bikini Bottom in a mail truck. The mail truck chase was very dynamic and exciting to watch, and to top it all off, SpongeBob being a mail cannon, I'm sold. This is golden, alright? As for unique characteristics, this gets my highest rating till now. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved the combination of the concept of delivering mail with Patrick and SpongeBob's carefree and helpful nature. As I alluded to earlier, it really seemed as if both characters were really happy to do that job, and this episode was literally bursting with happiness in my eyes from start to finish. It's been a while since I almost fell off the chair laughing from the SpongeBob episode, and it's been a while since I feel like I've laughed through at least half of the duration of the episode. In total, Patrick the Mailman gets a whopping 28 out of 30, and if there's only one season 13 episode that you have time to watch, it might very well be this one. I would say it's this one, but we have to see, because at the point I'm making this video, 276 is, well, the latest one, right? SpongeBob and Patrick having so much fun in the episode made me so happy while watching the episode, but you probably shouldn't hijack a mail truck, folks. So that's all for our review. Comment box below what you thought about these two episodes. Make sure to subscribe, like, favorite, comments that are keep right here on Awww SpongeBob 101, and I'll see you guys in the next SpongeBob video. Bye!